All right, folks, I am John D., and you are here in the IMAX Theater, in the best theater in the house, for excellent presentations, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm happy to pass this over to an incredible speaker. This is Alex Holden with Hold Security. Take it away, Alex. Oh, wait, hang on, sorry. Got one more thing, sorry, not to the questions are on Slido. So if you want to ask a question of Alex, go to Slido, and we'll have them at the end. All right, one more round of applause for Alex, and he's going to get going. Here we go.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and it's a pleasure to be here at BSides in San Francisco. This is a huge screen. I think the true purpose of my first slide is that if you guys get bored, snap a picture of this, find me on LinkedIn, post a picture of me speaking. I think from especially the back rows, I'm going to look really thin. So my mom likes those pictures that don't take the full frame. But absolutely a pleasure, and I'm going to tell you today a story that you probably won't hear in too many places. I'm going to talk about Russian hacktivists, and I'm going to put a personal connection to this. I do a lot of different presentations, speak at hundreds of events, and this is indeed the most personal presentation and story that I've ever done. So hopefully this actually brings things very close for some of you as well. I'm going to be talking about Russian hacktivism and kind of explain why Russian hacktivism that emerged over the past 3 years became a game changer for the wars on the internet, for all of us. Before the Russian invasion of Ukraine, hacktivism was kind of frowned upon, and there were attempts of hacking groups to wreak some havoc. But Killnet and many other Russian gangs that comprised of hacktivists made things normal. We no longer retaliate on a national level against attacks from hacktivists of a foreign nation. Think about after this, what Russians been doing with anybody that they don't like, not only Ukrainians, but the US, Europe, and everybody else in the world. This same wave went through Middle East, and when the war in Israel has started, the pro-Hamas hacktivists actually started destroying anything in Israel without much repercussions. And even today, we see attacks from foreign nations. For example, several years ago, Canada and India had diplomatic issues, and within 24 hours, next day, using the same techniques that Russian hacktivists did, Indian hacktivists start attacking nation of Canada, targeting their citizens. So this is a story of how hacktivism became normal, and there is really no retaliation from us as a nation against these groups. So this is a bad part. The good part, I'm going to start right now. So first of all, the talk is about Russian hacktivist group Killnet. Killnet itself came to existence on November 13th of 2021, 3 months before the beginning of the war in Ukraine. It was a Russian group. They marketed themselves as a distributed denial of service as a paid service. They start attacking things, and they started their career as a DDoS service in very interesting ways. So when the DDoS service establishes in Russia, it picks its targets, it picks its enemies, and Killnet that became a pro-Russian hacktivist group in just several months, its first targets were just opposite. Actually, the Russian law enforcement and other government institutions. On a personal note, look at all those logos. Man, they're huge. But I think Russian branding doesn't have much imagination. It's just this chicken with two heads, and that's it. All logos for all the different organizations. Nevertheless, Killnet actually targets all of these organizations. in a blind way to show that, hey, we are strong, we can take down our own government institutions. Very interesting and bold move, but just in the short 2 months, on February 23rd, just a day before the invasion of Russia into Ukraine, Killnet all of a sudden declares itself pro-Russia, Russian hacktivist movement, and everything pro-Russia against Ukraine. The redefining of hacktivism is happening just about then, because Killnet picks on anonymous group immediately. They start attacking anonymous group, start taking things out almost immediately just to pick new enemies to show, hey, we can do this. But what Killnet does is start drafting its ranks unusual folks. Think about Russian Federation beginning of the war with Ukraine, not as a only evil empire, but also a nation of really smart IT folks. And most of them that actually been employed by Western organizations, in US, in Europe, lost their jobs really overnight. So I know lots of companies, including some of your companies, that have fully divested and exited Russian market, fired every single employee that they had in Russia. So thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of individuals with good technical skills, not hackers, but just IT personnel, became unemployed overnight. And they were not particularly happy about this for some reason. What they start doing, they start joining this hacktivist movement because they got a personal vendetta, not even a nation idea, but they actually start joining hacktivist collective because they want payback to their previous employers. And guess what? They know some secrets, they know some passwords, they know access techniques. And what's more important, they hold certain unique skills that typical threat actors don't. So think about the network people. Network people understand the network protocol, so they probably, like even in DDoS, can max out bandwidth much more effectively versus folks who don't understand the network stack. And for developers who don't understand network stack as much, but they understand layer 7 and application components, they can actually build a very expensive layer 7 queries, for example, to max out resources of their target. So Killnet Collective actually made things attractive for Russian IT folks, disgruntled people who were upset at the West, to use their skills. The interesting thing that I've read, probably one of the funniest things I read in the Killnet Collective Telegram channel, was one guy said that even my grandma joined Killnet. She is sitting on her computer half a day and she's clicking reload really quickly on her Edge browser. So that's a DDoS that she's participating. And obviously, didn't expect that from this evil grandma and her web browser, and probably arthritis she would get from clicking so much. But this shows that it actually makes hacktivism a normal component. And the Russian government actually contributes to all of this because they go out of their way and suggest that participating in hacktivist activities pro-Russia is actually a good thing, it's a patriotic thing. So Russian members of Duma, which is equivalent of US Congress, they actually go on the record saying that we should not be drafting into military folks who are hacktivists because they are using cyber weapons to fight for Russia. Killnet at its highest point had 120,000 members within their Telegram channels, and almost 100,000 individuals actually contributed in some way toward this hacktivist collective. It's decentralized, it's huge, and they all take orders for various things. I want to show you one of the interesting things here. Usually, This is much easier to read for some of you. On the left side, you're going to see the original Russian text. We took out some offensive graphics. And on the right side, there is a translation. This is a call for actions in February or January of 2023, posted one of the many calls for actions posted by Killmilk, a leader of Killnet, in their channel. It basically calls for DDoS attacks against hospitals. U.S. hospitals around the world. And this is a vile show of attacks against just medical institutions. What's probably the most vile is the postscriptum. At the end, it says, kill them first in Russian. This is how Russian hacktivists look at our medical institutions. They attacked financial institutions, they attacked airports. Their attacks were maybe not as difficult to mitigate technically, but their attacks were absolutely despicable and vile. We see their attempts to intimidate employees of Lockheed Martin and Boeing by photoshopping their leadership in caskets, saying that this will happen to you if you keep supporting Ukraine with your weapons. This is what we are set against. And if you think about this is a face of our enemy, a true face of the enemy that is very hard to ignore. Who are the leaders of this organization? Let's talk about a young person named Killmilk, who really organized and built this whole thing. On the surface, Nikolai Serafimov is just a young person in the beginning of Killnet. He was not even 30 years old. And if you look at him as a persona, you'll actually find him a normal person. He is a husband, a musician. Early in his career, he recorded a whole bunch of interesting music tracks, not terrible. And he led Killnet for its entire existence through a lot of rhetoric and a lot of patriotic things. If you look at his social media, you'll find pictures like this from his military service, and you see that he branded himself as a patriot, somebody pro-Russia, a Russian pro-Russia. But the real Killmilk is nothing like that. He is a racist and fascist. We looked at lots of his sources of social media as a post. I don't care to post or put on screen the fascist and racist things that he've said. But trust me on that there is nothing interesting or good about this person. He is also a young man with vendetta. Back in 2013, he writes about getting payback to anybody who didn't believe him, who wronged him when he rises to power. And this is him as his direction in life. The real Killmilk is also a drug user, very avid drug user and drug dealer. In fact, in one of those social media surveys that he had, again, when he was younger, he was answering like 50 questions about himself. And he's being asked questions like, what kind of surprises you like? And he's like, illegal drugs. Yeah, that's what I like. What controls your mood? And he says, well, it depends on the amount of drugs in my system. Yeah. But this desire, drive to drugs, actually led him to dealing drugs. And in 2017, he actually gets arrested by Russian law enforcement for drug dealing. This is a very important thing because he was arrested based on court records. He fully cooperated with the investigation. And this conviction was based on Article 228.1, Part 5 of a Russian criminal code. The reason why I'm mentioning this by name, because you guys obviously know about it, but this actually, this statute requires 8 years of imprisonment. And even with good behavior and full cooperation with investigation, the judge only at liberty to half the sentence. So he had to spend at least 4 years in prison by Russian law. The interesting thing that we see within a year of his conviction in 2018, he is already out. He is communicating, he's taking out personal loans, he is living life outside of Gulag. Why? This is really unprecedented for Russia. Russia does not really deal well with its drug users. So what they do, most likely, for these type of commuted sentences, full cooperation with Russian law enforcement and becoming a rat for the Russian law enforcement. So Kill Milk at that point most likely flips and starts working for the Russian government. We fast forward to 2022 when the Kill Milk is at top of his game. He organized Killnet, and Killnet is being covered in all our news channels, and we are watching in horror how much damage Killnet is doing. In his interview on October 9th of 22, he actually answers a question to a Russian propaganda magazine, Arte, which is a mainstream magazine. He does this anonymous interview, and he actually talks about, he's being asked who he wants to thank outside of Russia. And he thanks a group called Solaris, which is a Russian illegal drug cartel, for all its success and success of Killnet that would not exist without help of Solaris. We saw this, and we decided to do something about it. By the way of very belated introductions, because we are halfway through presentation, and I think it's a good thing to explain why I'm going to be talking about myself a little bit right now, is that this is where it gets personal. So my name is Alex. I was born in Ukraine many years ago. Today is actually a 39-year anniversary of the day that changed my life, because today is 39-year anniversary of Chernobyl tragedy. After that, my parents have left Ukraine, and in 1989, we immigrated to United States. I lived for 35 years in Milwaukee. I spent my entire career in IT and cybersecurity. I know a single tool in cyber threat intelligence. But the highlight of my resume is very simple. I've been making Mr. Putin mad since 2014. In 2014, we did something on the front page of New York Times, and that put me on Putin's naughty list then, and I've been not allowed in Russia since. I put my sanctions against Putin myself. He's not allowed in my house. If he comes in, he can wait in the garage. But yeah, payback. Having started my organization 12 years ago, and having much love to Ukraine, for Ukraine as my homeland, I actually started part of my company in Ukraine 2 weeks after the beginning of the Russian invasion in Ukraine in 2022. And I wanted to do something about this because when he mentioned Solaris, I actually know much about Solaris. Why a threat intelligence company knows much about Russian illegal drug trade? Very, very simple. We actually monitor cyber threat actors by their drug use. A lot of them use their drug, like buying illegal drugs. They go on the dark web, they use same nicknames, and we know where they buy their drugs. Most people in Russia buy their drugs near their home. So we can actually triangulate their physical location, monitor these things. So we do something incredible. We destroy Solaris as a platform, and we take money that Solaris is making and getting them themselves to deposit their money into a pro-Ukrainian charity that helps elderly in the winter, in the cold winter that Russia caused by to them by taking out electricity. So we started step one of attack against Killnet by getting on the Forbes magazine by going after Solaris. So how this happens on the technical side. We knew Solaris for quite a while. It was established by a threat actor named Zanzi in 2017. It operates more than 1,000 drug shops because it's a platform for Russian drug service. At the time, it was number 2 Russian drug service platform with about 4 bitcoins of daily revenue. And to me, it was confusing because we knew Solaris well. A couple of years before, Zanzi came to us and asked us to fix some of the code of his PHP. We are a threat intelligence firm, so we have connections. And when he reached out and said, hey, help us out, we definitely didn't get his PHP code running, but we installed a little backdoor on one of his servers that survived several years. So monitoring these guys for so long, we actually had ability even to track Zanzi's cell phone. So Killnet is saying, hey, we see this, we got help from Solaris, which is a foreign organization. No, Zanzi is actually inside of Moscow. He's moving around, shopping in shopping centers, going to restaurants. We got visibility. So we log into Solaris platform and we jerry-rig it. So for a day, it's actually depositing all the money and helping folks in Ukraine to weather the rough winter, elderly people who could not defend for themselves. And we put this on the front pages of Forbes because this was important. So response from Solaris, like, we were not breached. Somebody just logged in and did something. We fixed everything. So they said that they kicked us out. We log into their GitLab to take a look what exactly was changed because they kicked us out from everywhere. And we see that they changed obviously the Bitcoin wallet where they're depositing. They changed the logo and they changed the date on the copyright because it was about time. We still have full control over Solaris infrastructure thanks to Ansible, thanks to SSH keys that are very easy to monitor. Couple of weeks after that, we actually go out with our own post. And we actually posting that not only about Solaris and their infrastructure, but we dump all their source code. We dump all their forums. We dump all their transactions of illegal drugs buying. Side effect, really cool that Solaris immediately got taken out by competition. But just a year ago, Solaris finally ceased to exist because they never regained number 2 position. They were not really a viable marketplace. So we destroyed that. But we had to weather the storm. So the weathering the storm is extremely difficult because there are cyber threats. I didn't translate that. There's nothing good. He's saying that's Killnet, Killnet making me a number 1 enemy to this day. Some doxing, a little bit, nothing embarrassing, but it's out there. Targeting, swatting. Swatting is not fun, but thanks for my local PD who was extremely understanding and very sensitive for these type of things. But what we are doing here, we did something really great because by getting into the front pages of the media, we were actually able to give this message not to our own folks, but to Russian oligarchs and the Russian government, that they got competition. Russian government thought that they were running Killnet, but Killnet was really being powered by Russian illegal drug trade. And Russian government doesn't like competition. So they cut off Killnet from its monitoring source. And unraveling of Killnet starts. So Killnet posts saying, hey, altruism is over. We are Killnet. We're going to be only for-profit organization. Pay us, and we're going to take out your targets. But it doesn't really work. I mean, how 100,000 people would go and get paid from their tax? So it's only Killnet getting paid, and it doesn't work. Then he says, everybody is fired. We're starting Killnet over. I'm the only one rebuilding. Doesn't matter. Then he hands over control to somebody called Backside, and all of a sudden that somebody mentions, did you kill Milk used to be Blackside a while ago, so you just gave this to yourself. Doesn't make sense. Furthermore, on October 6th of 2023, he actually posted something like this on their Telegram channel, and he actually says that now, for today, Killnet is making a first step toward the peace. He actually outlined the way that Killnet no longer attacks civilian targets; it only participates in military actions, and that actually sounded good. It actually said that he's going to be following the Red Cross directive. But on October 6th of 23 was a relatively good day, because the next day when tragedy in Israel happened with a terrorist attack by Hamas, we saw a completely different rhetoric, where Kill Milk didn't wait much, just 24 hours, to call for attacks against Israel. So that's, again, going to the character, going to these type of attacks. Now going into 2024, in January of 2024, Killnet actually, the channel for Killnet, Kill Milk sells that channel for about $10,000 US. He sells it to the Anon Club. So he's no longer making money. He's trying to make money any way he could. And the last asset that he had, he actually sells to the Anon Club. Guess what Killnet channel does right now? You would never guess, because it's so much fun, that the Anon new management of Killnet channel is dedicating this channel to fighting illegal Russian drug trade. I think we set a good example. They actually trying to get in the good graces of Russian government by doxing the drug dealers in Russia, so they can get money, financial support. They didn't. So what Kill Milk is doing, Kill Milk itself gets exposed by Russian media. So Russian media, which is government controlled, was actually set against Kill Milk to dox him completely, to show him at home, stuff like that. Kill Milk is in complete financial ruin. When we see in the beginning of 2023, he owning 4 cars, some of them pretty expensive, BMWs, Porsches, Panameras, stuff like that, 4 cars between him and his wife. He pawns all of them, takes money from under them, and there are micro loans that we can see that he is taking out. And these loans that he's taking out, like for $50 for his wife's nails, something like that. It's just funny and ridiculous. He leaves Killnet completely. So Kill Milk is done with Killnet. He doesn't want to do anything. He joins a couple other projects, gets in the fights, and absolutely destroys his reputation. He started a school of darknet. If you have extra money and you want to buy this course from him, it's between $300 and $29,000. Based on the reviews, because we didn't buy it. And these are terrible reviews, saying that he just sends you a whole bunch of links and he doesn't help, and he immediately leaves. He collects money. And he's spending a lot of time getting in flame wars. The only interesting thing he's done, he actually released a couple singles. He sings, it's profanity-ridden songs about Biden, about other folks, and not much. Quite more recently, he actually declares there's a rumor that he spread that he had died, he was killed. In that evening, he comes back and said, "No, I was not killed. I was just seeing if you pay attention." We didn't. But that's kind of the thing. But let's talk about legacy. We were able to identify these things, and we are able to show that hacktivism is actually sweeping the world. Killnet was a huge group of threat actors who made a lot of splashes. They made things difficult. They scared people. They assaulted people. They breached things. They made hacktivism acceptable in mainstream Russia, and now it's acceptable in mainstream other countries, and showing that they would not be punished. This is showing also how propaganda is a huge tool that a group of people who can run a Telegram channel or a Twitter channel or something like that can actually be extremely successful. And from our perspective, the great thing about this was our ability to make a difference. the operation against 100,000 Russian threat actors, who some of the Ukrainian press called herd of wild animals, that were just attacking everything that they could. We had a team of 9 people who devised this plan. Step 1, to highlight their connection with illegal Russian drug trade. Step 2, make sure that everybody hears about it. Step 3, sit back and watch things unveil. This is not only a story about Russian hacktivism, it's also about finding a heel with this very small team of dedicated folks, all of them are from Ukraine, who were able to take out this herd of wild animals and stop them quite successfully. It didn't happen overnight, but happened eventually. And that's the story I wanted to tell to you today. Thank you.